Hey friends, I'm Savannah. Let me tell you what I learned in school today. So I want to circle back around to something that we talked about yesterday. But first, trigger warning, this is going to be a discussion about sexual violence and it's going to have some pretty nasty stuff involved in it. If that's not something that you want to hear, please go ahead and cut this off now. Okay, so yesterday we talked about the 4 types of serial murderers: the visionary, the mission-oriented, the power and control-oriented, and the hedonistic, with the subcategory under hedonistic of the lust killer. And I told you guys that the lust killer is widely considered to be the most dangerous of the serial killers. Why is that? Okay. It's because of the driving force behind their crimes. Because they're driven by this deep-seated sexual fantasy of domination and torture, they are rarely satiated. They're rarely able to be satisfied with their crimes because they're fantasy driven to begin with. And so that means that their crimes tend to escalate. They get more violent and more depraved. And we kind of saw that with Ed Kemper. We didn't kind of see it with Ed Kemper. We definitely saw it with Ed Kemper. Some of the stuff that man did was horrifying. I mean, he decapitated his mother and then he used her head. And then apparently he also used the other half of her body without her head. So, yeah, I mean, we're talking about like the stuff of your worst nightmares. That's why they're considered to be the most dangerous, because it just tends to escalate and they tend to not quit until they get caught. Now, Ed Kemper did quit before he got caught, but that's not typical, and he's still considered to be a lust killer. One of the other things that you guys brought up was you wanted to know why Ted Bundy was not considered a lust killer and fell more into the power and control category instead. Got some clarification on that, so I wanted to share. He is not considered a lust killer because the sexual aspects of his crime were secondary to his primary motivating factor. He was motivated by the hunt, by the domination and deception of his victims while they were alive. The sexual aspect of it for him came secondary to that. So that's why he's not considered a lust killer. Ed Kemper, on the other hand, he was primarily motivated by sexual gratification through necrophilia, mutation, domination of his corpses. So he is textbook lust killer. That's what I learned in school today. Moving forward, our next class, we are going to focus on a couple of serial killers I've never heard of before. If you guys want to go ahead and look them up and be ready to talk to me about it, I'd love that. David Gore and Fred Waterfield, apparently they were cousins who went on a murdering spree in the 80s. So that's what we're going to talk about next class. And otherwise, I will be back tomorrow with whatever I learn in school, which may or may not include murder. You guys have a good evening.